Welcome back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host,
Grandma Gail.
I want to start the episode with a PSA this week. We usually do this at the end of the episode, but we want to hear from you about questions that you have for us that we can answer on the podcast about dating, about what guests you want to hear us talk to. Subscribe to the podcast. Write a review, give us 5 stars, follow us on Instagram. That would be very helpful to have the listeners also be following us. We make lots of fun videos on Instagram and on TikTok. Our account for both of those is at Excuse My Grandma. You just type in Excuse My Grandma and we will come up on all those platforms. If you tried to set up a podcast, what would you do realistically?
No idea. I don't even know how to go on the computer.
For the podcast, we have to do meetings and stuff. So I was like, do we have to be in the same place for a call?
We have to be in the same place for a call because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
otherwise.
but I feel like Zoom is very intuitive. We can get you to do that.
I can do Zoom.
Well, because remember we did Zoom for the Jewish holidays last year.
No, I can do Zoom. I'm good with
when
Zoom.
We were all quarantining in different places.
We did Passover on Zoom.
That was funny because I feel like no one could hear each other.
Well, we were losing the picture too.
Yeah.
Sometime we got pictures of the feet. Okay, Kimmy, let's talk about this, the end of summer.
We are filming this during Labor Day weekend.
I know, boo-hoo. This has been...
Actually sincerely sad.
I'm really sad. I always hate to have the end of summer. You wait all year long for the couple of months that are with the flowers and the trees, and you can swim in a pool or you can go in a lake, and it's just an easy time, and it goes by in a second. And winter lasts so long. I don't get it.
You're big on the changing of seasons, though. Like.
Yeah, I do love that.
I feel like it gets exciting. Fall in New York City is exciting and romantic, and you can do different types of dates than summer dates. I mean, realistically, everyone just goes to dinner. No one does anything that different. But I don't know.
Well, you could go to that island this year. That's my first trip back.
Wait, did you hear about this little island?
Yes, that's where I want to go. That's the first thing I'm going to do when I go back to New York.
That was around all summer, though.
I know, but I wasn't in the city all summer, so that definitely, everyone says it's really, really fun to go to.
But I don't know what you do.
They have all kinds of music events. They have art installations. I think it's just a destination.
Yeah, with the views is the whole thing.
Right, and it's just a cool way that Barry Diller built it on, had his foundation. They built it on stilts.
You know what I'm envious of? That you can just rattle off artist names. Like, you always know architects or artists or songwriters.
Well, I think I've got some years on you, Kim. So I used to like to study all that stuff. So it makes it sort of easier.
And a better memory than me.
No, I don't think well, that's why I play bridge. Because the minute I stop playing bridge, my memory is going to stop. But I think we have to. What was the most fun this summer? Because I'm thinking what my most fun was that I changed my living surroundings to all white. I got rid of everything in my house that wasn't white, and I got a big TV. And
That's really sad that changing your upholstery was the highlight of your
That was
summer.
the highlight. And that I got a big TV so I could see the subtitles for my foreign films in bigger print. I loved it. Made my whole summer. That shows you what COVID's done to me. So I made the best of it. And I think I actually am cheery now every time I go into the room. It makes me feel lighter and
This is so funny because this reminds me I'll cut this out if he says it's not okay, but every Sunday the guy I'm dating will be like, let's do Rose Thorn Bud, and say like the best part of our week, the worst part of our week, and then like what we're looking forward to.
I think that's really actually pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice to like reflect and to have set goals for yourself. But I just feel like nothing happened this summer.
Well, something always happens. You got into the Stephen Talk House easily, so that's an accomplishment. And you listened to good music last night.
Yeah, there was no line, but I also didn't know anyone. I just see the same ex-boyfriend every time I go.
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who cares if the company you're going with are fun and you listen to the music and you have a glass of wine. It's a nice way to end summer.
There's always a bit of an underage crowd there, and someone told me that. So you have to show your vaccination card at the door.
Well, I think you're going to have to do that all over, but go ahead.
And which is great. Like I stayed outside when I was there.
Oh.
But anyway, the people are saying that since a lot of underage people go to bars, you know how usually they'll create fake IDs to get into a bar?
That's been going on forever.
So now people are creating fake vaccination cards.
I know. That's fair. Well, the two women got arrested.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a ring. They got
No,
arrested
but
this
not
week
for what?
for creating false vaccination cards.
No, but I'm saying these kids got vaccinated, but it says your age on it, so they need to have one that says 21.
Oh,
so they're remaking vaccination cards with
false ages.
Yeah, with false ages. They still got vaccinated.
Oh, you know what?
That was stupid.
It's so silly. And then they get in a car instead of. I hope they don't get in a car. These
everybody
kids.
Ubers.
Well, that's good because you know what? There's too much drinking out.
Oh my
here
gosh!
anyway.
Also, when I left the bar last night, I saw my high school bio teacher.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, and I was with a friend from high school, so it was funny.
Oh, that's a nostalgic moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to. We went last night out for dinner, and as I was telling you before, I never saw so many cute, pretty girls all wearing these little flower short dresses. It looked like they came out of I don't know where, what
catalog,
out of
Love Shack Fancy.
Love Shack Fancy. It looked like an entire Love Shack Fancy,
especially in
thing.
the Hamptons.
And it was, but they all looked pretty. One was cuter than the next, and of course they were all like 5'10", wearing big wedge heels. So I said, I want to come back as these kids one day. I guess that's never going to happen.
In your next life, you want to come back as a
5'10",
25-year-old 5'10".
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. I'm not envious of that. I've been
why should you be?
Yeah.
You're 25, so you have a whole life in front of you.
Yeah, true.
And now you have a new haircut, so you even look prettier.
I didn't mean to get it short.
Oh, it
I
looks
just
so
told
cute.
Valerie to cut the ends off.
Oh, it looks so cute. You look very cute.
Yeah. I was talking to Valerie, too, about maybe getting him on as a guest.
Oh, that would be cool. Everybody would like to know how to get rid of their bad hair days.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and, there was a few people, though, at the bars. I'm always I want to make friends, and then everybody has RBF. Do you know what RBF is?
No.
Another term. Resting bitch face.
What does that mean?
It means that you're just, standing there and look super unfriendly. And you're
why
not
go out?
Right. No, but meaning they're not actually unfriendly, but their resting face is like a bitchy face.
Oh, well, you know what? Too many problems when you go to these bars. Firstly, you're leaning forward, then you're dropping napkins. Now you're having a bitch face.
Yeah.
It's almost not worth the effort. You know what?
Do you think? But you can have resting bitch face wherever.
I guess you could.
Wherever
even on
you
a
are.
date, you could have that
totally.
face.
Do you think that men like bitchy girls?
I don't know. I think they like girls that are sort of hard to get because, like we've discussed before, they like the challenge. But I don't think people like that, like a person who's mean or not nice after a while.
Not
I
the
think
mean aspect, but maybe when they kind of give it back to you a little bit.
Well, you know what? That's like a game. Another one of those games that people like to play. So I don't know. So what else is happening out here? We've got the horse show coming up to the finals this weekend out here. I don't know. Did you go over to the polo field? And
I did.
So what was it like?
My friend's an equestrian, so I stopped by.
Did she do well?
Yeah, she got in 5th.
Oh, very good.
And her, I guess it's class or however it is. And then I watched a bit of the professionals, which is funny. My friend and I who went, we were like, this is such a sexist sport. It's all women, kind of joking because it's usually the opposite. It's not.
No, it's mostly men.
It's mostly men, but when you're walking around, you don't really see it. But I think because we were looking at the more amateur levels.
Right. But the professional, the men's riding teams are really
but on a
fabulous.
Horse, you can't tell who's a guy or a girl.
Well, they're wearing those hats.
Because they all,
and their hair has to go on. Helmet. Sorry, not a hat. But I'm sure some of the ladies were wearing hats over there. Because they get dressed up. They tend to get look really fancy.
It's a mix between very preppy people and horse people.
Okay. Well, that's almost the same thing, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'll never forget. Don't you remember when Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman?
Yes, that was a great outfit.
That was
the
great when she
dress.
was pushing down the after
but that
the polo
was
match.
Polo.
Yeah, polo match.
So.
Well, I had heard through the grapevine that they had to postpone, or not postpone, but basically cancel a lot of the riding classes because they were afraid because of all the rain that the horses would hurt themselves. So some of the classes were not did not go forward.
Maybe.
Which was,
I think Julia Roberts, the Pretty Woman idea is a very cute Halloween costume. I've seen that. I'm already thinking about Halloween because it's almost October.
Well, the pumpkins are out.
So did you see pumpkins?
Yep. The pumpkins are in the field already, so you can definitely think about Halloween.
But did you ever dress up for Halloween? How old is Halloween?
It's older than me. It's older than me.
I don't know. Is that a
Halloween
recent
is a
holiday?
religious holiday. we've made it into a silly candy holiday where kids go trick-or-treating, but it does have religious significance. So I think it's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Since the Catholic Church.
Right.
So
What was your
I wasn't
favorite
there then
Halloween
at the
costume?
beginning of the Catholic Church.
You weren't?
No. It
Oh.
might seem like I was, but I wasn't.
I doubt people were doing sexy Halloween costumes like they do now.
No, we didn't do that. First of all, we would hold I would hold my brother's hands, and we would go. There were only about 3 or 4 houses that we would go to.
Right,
in
but
the
that's when
country.
you're a kid. But you still celebrate Halloween.
No, I
now
never
in your
celebrated
20s
as an adult.
in college, and
No, we didn't do it in college. Come to think of it, we never did that in college.
that's so interesting.
No,
it's such a big like Halloween weekend, and
Yeah, well, now it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were. It's probably a big football weekend that same weekend, and we were basically a big football school, so we probably didn't pay attention to it.
I'm already thinking about my costume this year.
Okay.
Even though I've not been invited to anything. Party.
It's early.
I guess.
I don't think you have to worry
2
about
months in advance.
Exactly. I don't think anybody's making a Halloween plan right now. We haven't even gotten to be the last. Well, actually, tomorrow's the last day of summer, so that's and it also coincides with the Jewish holidays. So we're having a lot of celebrating.
Yeah, a lot going on. So I wanted to talk about how to act in a new relationship. If you have any tips for people in the beginning, when does the crazy come out? Does it come out? Do you get a hint of it before you actually are official? Does it come out a few months in? I think people are like, okay, when are we going to act real around each other?
Well, I think the crazies come out after a little bit. You got everyone puts on an act for at least the first month or so.
Yeah.
I think everybody's on their best tippy-top behavior. And then I think as you get to know each other in different situations, whether it be at home or if you go out with friends, all of a sudden you see little quirks coming out that you might like or might not like.
How do you not bring in old relationship baggage or
hopefully you don't
into a new one?
Well, I think you learn from each relationship. And if you have a relationship that really was good for a long time, and then all of a sudden you see something that was drastically wrong with it at the end, and you knew that this was not going to be something that you could keep going on with, whatever that issue was about, you should try to avoid that in your next relationship, because it evidently is something that's destructive and that you can't live with.
I think
sometimes it could just be boredom. And if it's just boredom at the end, then you're glad that relationship ended.
Yeah. I think a lot of people get nervous about feeling like they might repeat history or that they'll act the same as they did in a failed relationship in their new relationship. Is there a way to,
well, you have to check yourself.
Or?
I think you have to check yourself. If you see yourself falling into the same pattern,
right,
then you have to all of a sudden step back. I mean, now you've matured from one relationship, hopefully, or 2 relationships, and you're going into another relationship, and you've got to make sure you don't repeat those same mistakes. If you see it happening again, then, shame on you. That's just no good. You should learn from what happened in the past, and hopefully got more understanding of what really is good.
What do you do if you don't know what it was that was wrong in your last relationship?
Well, if you don't know, then it couldn't have been that serious.
Right.
So it basically probably is just that you got tired of each other and and it felt like moving on.
That's fair.
I mean, I think basically you would know if something really was wrong, or if the other partner said to you, "I can't stand that in you," then
then something to think about.
Exactly. Do you have any of those kind of things that you can remember that really bugged you? I can't think of any. I mean, I basically think they were all nice, all the guys I went out with, but I must say that I dated several different types, so it never really was the same repeat kind of person. And then eventually I just said, no, this is a keeper. I mean, I
don't know. There's definitely always things that annoy me in somebody else. I don't like laziness. I don't like a day where you want to sit in bed all day and not make a plan or do something. And I feel
that's just your personality. So so you got to find somebody who is also has a like personality, because if somebody is completely opposite in the way you feel that your day, that your life should go, then that's never going to work. I think the other thing that I think we should discuss is what we're looking forward to doing this, this year in the city. I mean, there should be some fun things going on. Hopefully, I know the concert got rained out in Central Park, but hopefully a lot of the
What
theaters are
concert?
opening. The big concert that the mayor and the state was, to open New York up after COVID.
Oh.
So I think Broadway opened,
Yeah.
and that should be exciting. I think there's some rehash of plays. I know some of the good ones are coming back. And hopefully some new ones. I think Six is coming.
Yeah, I want to see Six. I never saw Hadestown, so
Hadestown was a Tony Award winner, and
Um,
that just reopened. I think that opened this past week, and I think Come From Away. Remember that
Yeah,
was
I saw that
wonderful.
twice.
That's reopening. That's getting a second chance. Some of the ones that that are not coming back are shows like for the kids, Frozen, and which I was surprised that Disney didn't bring that back, but they're not.
I wonder if there's a reason like that they don't want kids going back into.
Maybe you're right. It's the under
theaters.
12s that it attracts, so
Right.
they're not vaccinated. So
I don't know if it would have been.
I think
such
that's
a
probably
political
right. I think
decision.
that was very smart, Kimmy. I never thought of that because most of you have to
Like,
prove.
is Lion King back?
Yeah, Lion King is
So
back.
then maybe it's not the.
Lion
Maybe Frozen
King is
just didn't
back.
do as well.
Maybe Frozen just wasn't as successful, but Lion King is back. They have to. I think you have to show your vaccination cards if you're 12 and over. The thing that bothers me is because I was talking to somebody actually who's in the theater business, and she was saying that they are not going to space in the theater. They're not. You're going to be sitting really in those theaters
And
that
you
are.
wear masks or no?
You have to wear a mask in the
oh,
theater.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you have to wear a mask in the theater, but there is no 6 foot apart because they said just economically,
Right, it wouldn't make
it wouldn't make
sense.
sense. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. School is starting. Public school is starting this week, and everybody's going back, and we'll have to see what happens with that. I'm hoping that we have enough vaccinated people to keep this virus under control,
Yeah.
and that everybody can get to somewhat back to normalcy.
What could we do that's fun in New York together?
I don't know. Well, we definitely have to go take a walk on the High Line again. I mean, I've got to get back to the city life. I want to go back down to, when we do that, we can go into the Whitney, hopefully, and see what's down there. And then we can go to the island. We can do a lot of stuff that I have been avoiding for the last 18 months because sort of been nesting in place. I'm tired of it. And I think we have to sort of get on with our lives. This could be something that we might have to live with, this kind of virus, for a very long time. We'll just keep taking boosters and vaccines, and like other viruses will hopefully disappear. I'm thinking, Kimmy, as we end this conversation today, we really have a new year coming up. We have a new fall season coming up. I think everybody has to just be happy with life, try to do the best we can for our fellow neighbors and our family, and reach out to the flood victims that were so terribly hit the last week in New Orleans and New Jersey and New York and Connecticut. It just, it shows you that we have to just go help our friends out, extend our hand, give to the best of our ability, and we'll get through the year. We'll do it. So
we can always count on you to be the responsible civilian, Gail.
No, I believe that we're the best of the best, and our country is always, and our people are always helping others. And I think this is certainly a time where everybody has to think about other than yourself. And this would be a perfect time to make a wish and a hope that we live in peace and prosperity and in health for a new year.
So, Grandma, the next few weeks, we have really exciting guests coming on.
Who?
All different well, we're not telling. And
Oh, all right.
we'll
Okay.
surprise everybody. But someone who's going to come and talk about divorce, and somebody who's going to come and talk about being a very big influencer. So for both of those, if you guys have questions, let us know. Again, it's at excusemygrandma, or you can email us questions@excusemygrandma.com.
Okay, Kim. Sounds great.
Have a great week, everyone.